tell you a little story about how I just about became a jailbird. In fact, I wasn't sentenced to jail, and I'll tell you the details. We were down along Lynn Creek, which is a creek beyond the clearing here and down in a ravine. Beautiful stream. It's more than a creek, it's a river. We used to call it Lynn Creek. My chum and I were out to hunting grouse, target shooting, and just things that kids do at 17 years old. And we had decided to stop alongside the creek and have something to eat. And we were kind of laying back, having a cup of coffee and a sandwich, and my chum was a real good wing shot. It was unbelievable how fast he could shoot on the wing with a 22. Anyway, we were kind of laying back and just looking out the creek, and a seagull come flying by. And Donnie couldn't resist the opportunity to take a shot at the seagull, which he shouldn't have done because it's a protected bird, and you can get fined and you can go to jail for shooting one. So anyway, he takes his 22 in his one hand, he's laying back, and he follows the bird like this, and he pulls the trigger, and he blows the tail feathers out of the seagull. Luckily, he didn't hit it. At the same time, the game warden steps out of the bush into the creek on the other side. And Donnie says, "Let's get out of here. Here comes Mulligan." And I said, "Well, we didn't do anything." And he starts wading across the creek. And the creek is moving pretty fast, so he couldn't move very fast because he'd gone swimming. Anyway, he comes over and he greets us, "Hi boys, how are you doing today? Enjoying the day," and so on. And, "Yeah, we are." He says, "I just want to let you know I'm confiscating your rifles. You're going to be charged." "Charged with what?" "Shooting within so many 100 yards of the municipality, number one. Shooting at a non-migratory game bird and almost hitting it, and seizing your rifles." So he seized our rifles, and he said, "You'll be getting a call from the sheriff." So, okay, well, nothing we can do, so we go home. A few days later, sheriff comes to the house we lived on East 3rd Avenue, and he hands a summons to my dad to appear in court. My dad, of course, he wasn't very sympathetic to this guy because he used to shoot the same as we did. He says, "Is that all that you got to do with your time?" Anyway, he had to take the summons. So we were summoned to the court in Lynn Valley, which is in a remote area like this. We had to take time off work. We had to take a ferry across Bryan Inlet from downtown Vancouver, and we had to walk all the way up to Mountain Highway, which was a couple of miles. We had our lunch buckets with us, and we went into court. So we sat in the court. There was some other cases ahead of us. Anyway, our names are called, and we stand up, and he reads the charges, and he says, "You're guilty, you're not guilty." Well, I was not guilty of shooting at the bird, but I was guilty of shooting in the area, which was part of the municipality. I didn't know that at the time. So the judge goes on with his rhetoric, and he talks to the game warden, and the game warden calls the game warden over, and they're chatting back and forth and shaking their heads like this, and we're wondering what's going to happen. He picks up his gavel like this, bangs it down, 8 days in Oakalla, suspended. We were fined. I was fined $10, $3.50 cost. Donnie was fined $10 and $5.50 cost, and he lost his rifle, but I got my back. But our hair was standing up on the back of our heads. I thought I was going to jail for first.